Like if you're going to get up and work, 15 hours a day, make sure you're doing it for something that you really love and enjoy. It just happens that there's a group of investors and people I knew who were involved with the concept of agent, and they said, hey, if you're available, do you want to come on board and help found this company and join the other two founders who just put it together? And I said, yeah, let's do it. The concept was amazing to me because I love disruption when disruption is for the right reasons. It's not just because there's a dollar to be made, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think if you're doing something for the good and you're doing something with passion, like I mentioned earlier, success is driven by those factors. Like if you're passionate and you drive forward, you get up every morning with a reason, and you're good at it, you'll make money. So we took this fragmented concept of an industry, which I say in real terms, because there's over 6,500 modeling agencies in the U.S.
In the U.S. alone?
In the U.S. alone. And the top 4 represent only less than 20% of the business.
Wow.
The remaining 80%, which is like $1.2 billion, is handled by almost 6,500 small agencies that average 2 employees per an agency. Yeah. So we came in from the outside and said, we're going to improve this. And so our goal was to make an industry that was transparent, to probably first and foremost make the models central. We let the models set their own rates. We protect the models by doing criminal background checks, sex offender checks, and identity verification on everyone who wants to book them. So we provide a safer environment than anywhere in the world for models, which today is, and we started this 2 years ago, so this is not a reaction to what's happening. This is what we saw was wrong and we know is wrong. Over 90% of the models in the industry have had some form of sexual harassment or coercion. And increasingly models are going in an independent fashion. They're like, well, I can use Instagram, but there's a dark side to everything, and you can't just because it's technology believe that it's safe. You have to be aware of what you're exposed to, and I think platforms are getting better at doing that. But with us, we've really taken that to heart. And with all these background checks, if anyone was going to do anything wrong, they certainly will not do it on agent. We know everything about the clients.
Sure.
They're much better off going somewhere else. So the models set their rates, and we do background checks, and we allow and empower them to manage their own careers.
So how do you, tell me a little bit about how you help them growing in their career?
One is education.
Sure.
So we're developing tools to help educate the models. A lot of people get into the industry really not knowing much. They read up a little bit, but they don't really have the experience. And even when you have an agency, a lot of them don't give you that background. You kind of learn as you go. And so we're going to be providing increasingly a number of tools on our platform for models to learn, video series, educational series, to learn about the business. What should they expect of you? What is not? When can you say yes? When do you say no? Setting your rates. How do you know what your rate should be to make more money? We're the fastest growing modeling platform in the world. We have over 10,000 registered models right now. We're doing things with Watson and IBM to help identify the personality fit between the model and the brand. Stuff that an agent, I always look at what does an agent do and how can we be better? Because we've got tools and we've got very powerful algorithms and technology behind us. What is a model? Who are talent? It's anyone that a company would hire because of the value that they bring. If you're at a company going to do a show at McCormick Place in Chicago, you're coming from San Francisco or LA, do you fly 4 more people from marketing out, or can you use agent to hire 4 people that would be great look to represent the brand, who are knowledgeable? You don't have to pay for plane tickets, hotel rooms, and you pay them an hourly rate, and they can fulfill that need wherever you go. So there's so many different places where we think we'll actually expand the reach of modeling. We have a lot of high-end models on our platform. And what appeals to most of them is just the ability to control their careers. Even at the top agencies, the models often find themselves trying to get a check on a job. So getting payment, we pay the same day. Giving the model the ability to promote her or himself. They can do that on our platform, drive people to their profile who can then hire them. So they're not sitting around waiting for someone else to find them. They take it into their own hands. I think with the industry in general, not just lack of transparency, but a lack of infrastructure that's there to support the models. Even with the traditional agency structure that's been in place, the problem is that the focus has always been on the client and the money that the agency is making. And if a photographer was to say, hey, great lighting in here, can we do some shots with your shirt off? They have no support system in that room. What do? So that's where education comes in. At one point I was told by a model, when she said no, the photographer actually called her agent from a big agency and said, this is what's going on, and handed the phone back to the model, and the agency started screaming at her, saying, do you really believe in your career or not? And it's a tough thing to swallow. That's what we're looking to change. They always talk about first mover advantage. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they're saying, you got an advantage if you're first. I disagree 100%. First movers often fall on their face, and everyone behind them in the race watch where they fall and jump over the puddle. So you learn by where people fall in front of you, and you save a lot of time and money by making sure you don't do the same thing. Well, the first thing is to know that when you're raising money for a company, that people are investing in you. They're not investing in your idea. Your idea is important, of course, but they're never going to make the investment decision because you had this great idea. If they don't think you can execute on it, they're not going to waste their money. So when you go out and raise money, have a strong plan, know what you're talking about, but sell yourself. We are starting with models, but we are about acting, we're about music, we're about a lot of verticals where there's traditionally been someone in the middle joining two parties together to transact business. And wherever those entertainment related industries are, there's going to be room for our technology. So we have a much broader vision than modeling. They are all aligned, but they are different in a lot of ways. So again, like I said, focus. We can say, why not do it all? Because you can fail in a whole lot of places if you don't win in one.